You thought the differences between Sims 4 in 2014 and Sims 4 in 2022 were bad. Just wait until you see the differences between Sims 2 and Sims 4. Today, I'm going to be talking about the differences between Sims 2 and Sims 4. I'm not going to go over every single thing, so please share with me some of the differences that you've noticed. There are quite a number of differences between Sims 2 and Sims 4. It's very clear that these two games have two different styles to them. Sims 2 feels way more mature than Sims 4, and it has a ton of quirkiness and personality to it. It feels like things can just happen to you when you're playing. In Sims 4, it feels like there's less risk of death, losing your job, having your kids taken away, and other things like that, which definitely can happen in Sims 2 quite often. Other than that, the art style is kind of more realistic in Sims 2. It's less cartoony, and the items in the game look like they could be from real life. Sims 4 kind of looks cartoony, and it's more whimsical in regards to the design of items in it. Firstly, we're going to stop off at create a sim. I'm ignoring the obvious, like Sims 4 has a push and pull system, while Sims 2 has very limited sliders and skin tones and hair colors and eye colors, and just very limited options overall. Something it does have would be the Something it does have would be the astrology signs and this point system. This was replaced by personality traits moving forward. I remember when I was younger and I tried to create myself in Sims 2, including giving my Sim self my proper sign, but then I would try to change their personality points to better reflect me, and I would get upset when it would change my sign. So it would be like very minor tweaks, or I would just have to live with being a different sign or having not correct personality traits. Something that isn't in Sims 4, but was a very cool little detail in Sims 2, would be the turn-ons and turn-offs. This affected how much your sim was attracted to others. You can see this information in the relationship panel in live mode. The more lightning bolts, the more they're attracted to that person. In Create a Sim, you change the turn-ons and turn-offs right here in this panel. Certain DLC gave you more options for this. I honestly miss this feature so very much. I wish they'd bring it back. I think it added another layer to relationships and why you would pick a partner for your sim. As of right now in Sims 4, it feels like you could be a good match with anyone. There's no rhyme or reason to why it would work. In Sims 2, the only Sims that would age would be the ones in your active household. This made it easy to jump around and play with different families without worrying that your other Sims were aging and dying. Sims 4 has auto-aging on, however you can turn it off. This is what I do in the saves where I film stuff in. Just saying. Sims have evolving interests in Sims 2. As they talk about certain objects, it could make them more interested in it. You can see their interests in this panel right here. Furthermore, in Sims 2, you can look back at their memories as well as look at their personal bios or their family bios. This was pretty helpful for those pre-made families back in Sims 2, since there was storylines that kind of weaved its way throughout all of the different families in the neighborhood. This must have been one of my favorite things about the pre-made Sims. I loved reading about all of them and seeing how their stories played out. In Sims 4, the pre-made Sims do have a family bio, but there aren't any personal bios, so you can't get to know each sim on a personal level. The memory system is based on player-created screenshots that the player created into a memory. In this, you'll see the mood that they were feeling, so that's okay. There were burglars back in the day. To prevent burglars, you'd have to install a burglar alarm. This would alert the police and they would get caught. In Sims 4, you don't need an alarm. There's no police. You don't need this at all. There's no burglars. Actually, you barely even see cops unless you have Get to Work and you play as a cop. Which is interesting because I feel like you do see cops every so often in The Sims 2 for certain reasons. Other items you'd need to buy in Sims 2 would be groceries and clothing. After the initial Create a Sim session, you don't have access to all of the clothing in the game. You would have to go out to a store and purchase them. At the store, you can try on the clothing before buying, and you can even purchase stuff for other Sims in your household. You do this by selecting masculine or feminine as well as the different ages, and you can kind of just put all the clothing in the cart, so you don't have to have each Sim go to the store by themselves. You can also woohoo in the changing room, which will give you a particular memory. You can purchase groceries from stands or phone. In Sims 4, there are certain grocery items you can purchase from the phone or fridge, but only if you own cottage living. You might also just harvest some of these items yourself in your garden or around the neighborhood. If you have those items, it can actually make particular recipes cheaper. That's pretty neat. Another thing you can buy would be cars. In Sims 2, you can use your car to drive to different lots, or you can set it as your mode of transportation you'll be using to get to work. If you don't want to use your vehicle or you don't own one, a carpool will come and pick you up. As you make your way up the corporate ladder, the carpool will get increasingly fancier. You know, little fancy smancy stuff going on, like this helicopter. For teens and children, a school bus will come to pick them up or drop them off. In Sims 4, your Sim will walk out of their house, go to the spawn point, and disappear. They do it for every lot, for every reason. They just go and disappear. When a child comes home from school in The Sims 2, the first thing that they do is check their report card. If it's not good, they get upset. If it's okay, they shrug it off. And if it's good, they run to a parent to show it off. It's truly adorable. In Sims 4, a pop-up will notify you how the Sim is doing in school. Another thing is bad grades won't cause a social worker to remove your child. This was something you had to stay aware of in Sims 2 because if they do bad, then they're going to be removed from the family, which would suck. And you wouldn't even be able to adopt them back. Another family could adopt them, though. I guess that's okay. The babies in Sims 2 are not objects tied to a bassinet. They can be left on the ground. You can pick them up, get them out of their crib, and take them to the fridge to feed them a bottle. They can be bathed in the sink or changed at a changing table. You can walk around with them, but more importantly, you can leave them on the ground, preferably next to the fridge and next to an old bottle. Sims 4 doesn't have anything like this. Babies lay in this bassinet for their entire life stage. You can pick them up, but they can't be brought anywhere, bathed, or sadly, left on the ground. You don't get a changing table or bottles that can be left on the ground as well. Although it is nice that the baby's mother can breastfeed them, which was a new animation for Sims 4. Did you know Sims 2 pets could work? Like actually get a job, get some employment, go to work and make some money. You can go onto their profile, check their needs, see their career or employment status. They get their own carpool and they go off to work. It's a quirky little bonus for owning pets, and it's very helpful for making some bank. In Sims 4, there's nothing like this. You can't even go on their profiles to look at their needs. In Sims 2, the neighborhood view is quite different than what it looks like in Sims 4. I talked about this very briefly in the video where I compared the 2014 and 2022 base game version of Sims 4. If that sounds interesting, click the link at the top right corner of the screen or find the link in the video description. Anywho, in Sims 2, you can rotate around, zoom in, and check out what you're working with in more detail. Moreover, you can edit the world through this tool. You can add rainbows, new lots, and flowers, and remove lots, add ducks, add waves, all of this cool stuff. In addition, you can create your very own world. This was a fun feature. I would spend hours creating my very own world and families for it, although I don't think I ever really finished any of them. I would start off with this grand plan and then never follow through. Unfortunately, in Sims 4, you cannot create your own world, you can't edit the worlds, or anything like that. The world map view is flat in 2D, there's no rotating or zooming in. Now it's time for a quick fire list of differences. There you have it. There are tons and tons of differences between Sims 2 and Sims 4. What's been your favorite feature from either of the games? I think The Sims and Sims 2 had the best reactions to things. Thank you for watching. Stay happy, healthy, and hydrated. Until the next video, bye-bye!